And here we are again. Welcome to Song of the Deep, the Frozen Wastes. Welcome to another heartbreaking, emotional, deep episode. No, not good. Deep. That's the good stuff, yeah. Deep episode with our four friends that are stuck somewhere in the frozen wastes. In a place they don't... That was a voice. Sorry, that... Me too. Yeah, in a frozen wasteland, but with people that do care for them, that are interested in them. Currently in Dragon's Mouth with a bunch of Yeti. That's what we're going to explore today. But who are our four friends? Let's have a look at these lovely people here. Bastien, would you like to start us off and go counterclockwise afterwards? Who are you and who are you playing?
Well, this time, normally you've been calling me Colin when you mean Bastien. That time you called me Bastien when I think you meant Colin. So this is interesting.
I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
Please. I'm Bastien and I play Colin on TV. Other way around. Hi, I'm Colin. I play Bastien. He's a bard. He's a shadow fae with horns. And he really likes to strum on his dulcimer and teach his friends how to play too. And perhaps Pickle will get more percussion lessons this episode.
I'm guessing we're going this way? We never said which direction we're going, so I don't want to hear shit about clockwork.
I did say counterclockwise.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear it.
Yes, it's your turn.
Hello, everybody. I'm Noir. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch as the Noir Enigma. I'm playing Lorenzo, a Dampier Paladin. Sad boy. That's me. Take it away, Pickle or Dracu. Drackle.
Drackle. Yeah, that's what I'll go by. Hi everyone, I'm Dracu. I'm playing Pickled Fish, aka Pickle. I am a Chaos Wizard who does not have a spellbook, so I am doing some experimentation, and we have figured out Paladin doesn't quite work out. Maybe Bard? I don't know. I was having a good time with that percussion, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, and I am Savvy, at Savvy Seaworth on the internets, and on Mondays I'm Phoebe, the elf-marked cleric of the moon and devoted follower of Sarastra.
I do like how we all kind of seemingly had a little bit of trouble to discern who is me and who is the character I'm playing. That some of that seemed a little bit too, okay, who am I again? Who am I? Well, luckily, I am only me. I'm Half-Hours Hermit, or Lydia. I am your game master today. I hold all the emotional knives that these lovely people have given me, and I will use them. Welcome to this beautiful, beautiful show, whether you're watching live on Twitch or in the future on YouTube. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it. Do leave comments, do leave likes. That helps a lot, and all the players will look and watch and see what people are saying. So if you have anything you want to tell them, please do so anytime. We also would like to thank our sponsors, of which there are many, because all the games we showcase are indie games, are either up and coming or new game systems that are coming out. And of course, we partner with them to make sure that we can show a nice little actual play. This is the only D&D game we have on stream during the week, but we are using the Snowhaven setting by High Level Games. We also have on Thursday 2 games back to the actual past, not future, because that doesn't make sense. But one is Achtung Cthulhu by Modifius, and one is Flames of Freedom by Zweihander, so World War II and the American Revolution. On Wednesday, we have our one-shot Wednesdays with various one-shots throughout the month. And of course, afterwards, Savvy's very own baby, I Hunt, Hustle and Claw. Thank you very much, Machine Age Productions. And we have on Thursday Accent Punk, which is fucking amazing. I love it, with the Sunflowers. And we have on Friday Defiant, which is the good supernatural, sexy, post-apocalyptic flirting. That's really it, let's be honest. But thank you, everyone, for helping us help you and help these perfect game designers. We also have an affiliation with Grinding Coffee, which is a Black and LGBTQ plus owned business which delivers coffee right to your door, which in this day and age is helpful. So do hit those links in chat, and you can use our little discount code as well if you want to. So check that out. We, of course, are going to start with this episode. If you, by the way, see any clippable actions, please do make sure you take those clips and post it in Discord. We have our clip of the week, every week decided by our very own. And today, well, we're starting with something that caused my dear Colin to really curse and swear at me last time, which I'm very proud of. Because last time, as they were comfortable in Dragon's Mouth, the Yeti settlement, as they were just recuperating from a long journey, well, something happened. A word spoken directly into Bastien's mind.
Bastien? Bastien? Bastien, Kumara, can you hear me? Here goes nothing. Bastien, if you can hear me, it's Katrine. It's your sister. I've been cycling through every plane I can think of, trying to reach you, and finally landed here, somewhere where there's lots of ice and snow. Just, if you can hear this, give me some sign that you got this message. I saw everything that happened. I knew there was almost no chance that you survived, brother, but until I knew for sure, I had to keep looking. I think I found where you are. Gruel's Exile, the plane is called. Covered in snow? It's the only thing that makes sense. I just get little images, not too much. Anyway, if you are where I think you are, I may be working on a way to get you out. But Bastien, when I go to sleep at night, I dream about home a lot. Our family, well, not our parents, but when we spent time together away from them. I wish I'd written down more of the music you made then. I try to hum along to the words you left behind, but I'm beginning to forget them. I didn't used to worry about that before because, well, I thought that I would convince you to come back. I miss you very much, brother. We're both still so young, and I can't accept centuries to come without my brother. I want to dance with you at my wedding. I want our children to play together at the lake where we used to go. Be happy as we were then. I want to hear your songs again. I'm sure you've made many new ones, but would you play some of the ones from when we were small? I'd like to remember them. I know I didn't always protect you, and I lie awake at night thinking of the magic that Mother used on us, that I used on you. Bastien, I don't want to think of you alone and afraid. And I'm so sorry that I made you feel that before your time. I'm going to keep searching for you. I'll find some way to try and open the shadow roads into Gruel's Exile, if that really is where you are. I love you, brother. Come back to me.
Can you hear me? Do I just have to think? Bastien goes back to his space that's been made, his bed, I suppose. The furs and everything that was laid out. And picks up the dulcimer. And tries to do what she asked. That one? You used to like that one, didn't you? What am I... You said to give you a sign. What do you want? How... What do I do? Didn't give enough information, Katrin. I think he spends a long while in there by himself. Just trying to think of what to do.
Not with the music. Not with thinking about it very hard, willing it into existence, trying to will it into existence. Not with the response to magic he is aware of, magic he knows. There are spells that you can use to send messages, even across planes. You know, Katrine's been working on these things. Magic across the planes. But even with all of that, the words you say into the emptiness of the room, the music you play into the emptiness of the room, you're not sure if any of that reaches her. And it comes with a punch to the guts almost, that realization just how far from home, any home, you are. back in the common area with a beautiful table and beautiful chairs that were not made from wood but grown from wood. The mossy curtains that lend a very humid but soft smell of the forest floor to this cavern. Little yellow and whitish flowers and snowdrops all over. The lights of the blue crystals. Within that common room in Dragon's Mouth, the Yeti settlement, Phoebe, Pickle, and Lorenzo notice that Bastien, who was just going to be gone for a little while, has not returned in a very long time.
Do you think my music was that bad?
No, Pickle. Your
No.
music was fantastic.
You seemed really proud of it.
I can't get the beat out of my head, to be quite honest. I think he may be distracted with other matters.
Should someone go check?
I don't think someone should go check. I think you should, Phoebe.
I'm someone, but okay.
You're not just
I walk away to
anyone.
go check on him.
Sometimes I feel like they argue with me just to argue. Lorenzo's gonna look over at Pickle when Phoebe walks away and ask how did casting with music feel? Did you enjoy it?
Well, I'm not sure if I really meant to cast anything. But it did feel a lot better than the storm did. No offense. It wasn't nearly as terrifying.
None taken. I've never been able to speak with the voice of the storm.
I guess in all fairness, I technically haven't voluntarily done it either, so yeah.
Kinda gives a pat on the shoulder and goes, well, thank you for showing me that there's still so much work left to do.
I've got a lot of work left to do too. And you did promise that you would teach me some things too.
I hadn't forgotten. As soon as we acquire weapons, we'll begin our combat training.
And she like drops into a mock fencing stance.
It's just, I'm gonna be so good at swordplay, and you're gonna teach me. Or are you more comfortable with axes? Should we try axes first? That's something you know really well too.
I am skilled with most weapons. I can teach you the fundamentals, and from there, you'll develop your own style and expertise. You'll be a combat master in no time.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
He just kind of smacks your foot a little bit to widen your stance. You're gonna want to keep balance. Balance is the number one thing to consider in terms of your movement.
And while Pickle and Lorenzo chat a little bit about the basics of fighting, actual melee fighting, which Pickle, correct me if I'm wrong, knows fuck all about. Phoebe, are you heading to see Bastien?
Yes.
You find him in the bedroom, which is a common bedroom. It is a pile of furs and pillows and blankets. The Yetis seem to be preferring to sleep in, I think, what is technically known as a cuddle puddle, or cuddle pile. And you see him sitting there, looking surprisingly forlorn.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
Are you okay? You were gone for a while.
To my own great surprise, I am not okay.
What happened?
My sister's looking for me.
Really?
Yeah. She was always the better mage of the two of us. If anyone could find a way to get a message through planes, it's her, and she did. You're not the only one who's hearing things in your mind since we've been here.
Well, at least you knew who it was.
Yeah, well, sort of.
Isn't that a happy thing?
It is, and that's precisely why it's so sad. She misses me. And she thinks I'm dead. It was her. I know her voice, but she sounded different.
Different how?
Loving. She sounded scared. And concerned. And all the other words you associate with love that I've never, or at least not in a long time, heard in my sister's voice.
Well, sometimes people don't realize what they have until they don't have it anymore. But she's your sister. Of course she loves you.
I know. I always knew, I think. Even when she was cruel. I always knew. But, she talked about seeing each other's children and going to each other's weddings. What if I never get to do that now? What if we never get back?
We'll get back.
How do you know that?
I just do. We've come back before. Why couldn't we do it again?
We don't even know where
Especially
we are.
The people here are, no offense, generally much kinder than they were to us last time. In the Shadow Realm.
I just sorry.
You don't have to apologize for feelings. We'll get back.
Old habit apologizing for my feelings.
Well, don't. And we don't have to know where we are. Just where we're going.
I miss my sister. That's not a thing I ever thought I would say.
You love her.
Yeah.
Do you want to try to send a message back?
Yes. Yes. I just don't want her to think... I would feel much better if she knew at least that I was alive. I hate to think of her worried like that.
I can try. There's a small chance that it won't reach her, but talking across planes is difficult, but it's not impossible. I know a spell.
I mean, 1% chance of success, I'll take it. I just... It sickens me to think how worried she is. I could hear it in her voice. It's terrible to hear.
What do you want me to say?
Oh. Just tell her that I'm alive, that I'm well, and that I'm still wearing it. She'll understand.
Okay. Easy enough.
Is that
DM, can I?
how many words do I get? Is there a limit?
Yeah, a couple of lines.
Okay. He's safe. He's well. He's alive. Still wearing it. And I love you.
Okay. I would like to cast Sending. If that's okay.
You remember the spell and how it was taught to you? How Amara talked about spreading the word and bringing Zoroastria's teaching to everyone in the country. That sending was a good way to stay in touch with other temples, with other people all around the country, even though, well, it has its limits. You do remember that one of the limits is that usually you cannot reach someone in a different plane with it. But Katrine just did. You do know that there are mages working on cross-planar spells and magic. So I'm wondering how Phoebe would try not being taught in arcane arts, not being super learned when it comes to these experimental magics. How would Phoebe try and empower the spell to reach Katrine across the plains?
She would include in the spell something that is close to Katrine. She doesn't have something of hers. She does have a brother. So I think that's the intention, is thinking that maybe with Bastien there, she can reach her through that like blood tie.
What does that look like in reality? Do you hold his hand? Do you try and literally make it a blood tie? You've done rituals like this before to honor Sarastra.
Can I have some of your blood?
Sure. Yeah, usual spot.
Just a little. I think
Okay.
it'll make it easier since you're tied to her. To find her.
Yeah. This might help too. And Bastien cuts his hand and then puts the ring in it, puts some of his blood on the ring, and then hands it to Phoebe.
I'll take it and hold on to it and try to cast the spell. Just sort of picturing in her mind, sort of looking at Bastien and then picturing sort of what she remembers that Katrine looks like. Try to reach out.
You reach out to that woman that you first met in Caramel, in the Shadow Realm, not knowing who she was, asking for the way. You recall her smirk and her bemused look, bemused eyes when she looked at you. Not yet giving away who she was. You recall the icy cold reception in the hotel where she did meet her brother. And you recall the dinner where things got heated, to say the very least, between them. You recall a personality that is very different to your own. Very different to her brother's. But you know to look for the similarities. You know to find the connections. Because you know, as a cleric, as a disciple, even a prophet of Sarastra, we all have them. We are all connected. We all have wants and needs. and the longing for family thought lost. Not even necessarily family, just someone important. That longing has nothing to do with family name or race or planes. That longing is so very archaic, so very deep within each and every one of us, that you use it to force your way through all the complicated arcane bullshit, through the planes themselves. And for a flash of a moment, you see a woman. Blonde hair, neat robes, going about her daily business, sitting in what seems to be a room full of books and little cupboards, an office of sorts. You see her suddenly waver, gasp, and you know you have her. What do you say to her?
I say, Katrine, it's Phoebe. Bastien is alive, safe, and well. He says he's still wearing it. He loves you. I will keep him safe until we're home.
And you're not sure how much of that came through, because the flash is really just that. It's over as quickly as it came upon you. And you lose her again. You're being dragged back into this plane. To a plane of snow and ice.
Discovering her power. The shard is learning fast. Good. I appreciate the challenge. Keep learning, little one.
Did it work? Did you see her?
Yeah. I think she heard me. I think something else
Thank
heard
you.
me too.
What?
I heard that voice again. The one that keeps calling me the shard.
Oh. What now?
It said I was learning to use my power. Good. Keep learning. Little one. I hate it when they call me that.
It's a bit demeaning. Have you ever cast that spell across planes like that before? Is that new?
No. No, usually just to other temples. Things like that. I saw her. I
Oh.
did see her.
I believe you. So you exhibited a new power you've never used before, and this thing noticed.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea what any of this means, Phoebe, but that's not good.
No. It's not. That's okay. I don't have to know where I just have to know where I'm going, and I know where I'm going.
Phoebe, with all due respect, it's all good and well to know where you're going, but it doesn't particularly matter if you're being followed. If you're in danger, we need to find out what this thing is. It doesn't sound like it has good motives for you.
No. I want to talk to the Etu tomorrow.
Okay. How about we, just... How about we pray?
Okay. Yeah.
My hand's already open anyway, so, just a quick one, and then we'll go see the others.
Or they're going to send someone looking for me.
Yeah.
All right. Lorenzo and Pickle. Phoebe hasn't come back either in a while. But of course, knowing what you know, Lorenzo, it's up to you to decide whether that's something to be concerned about. What are Lorenzo and Pickle doing in the time until Phoebe and Bastien come back? If you would like to skip that part, that's fine.
It would have just been a whole lot of and that's why you never put all of your weight on one foot. You have to keep it fluid.
Are you actually, like, making some space to show Pickle some of those moves?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alright. I would just want to see how Pickle is doing there. Because Pickle is here for it. Pickle is excited for it. Pickle will actually try. That's what we know about Pickle. She's the best. So, are you trying to teach her dex-based or strength-based fighting?
I'm trying to teach her dex-based fighting.
Then make me a
basics.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Oh no, go ahead. What do I need to roll?
Make me a regular. No, not you. Actually, you make me a wisdom roll. Not a save, just a roll, and Pickle makes me a dex roll. Again, not a save, just a roll. I want to see how well that training session is going.
That is an 18.
17.
Nice.
Hey.
So Pickle actually is picking up things quite well. You teach her the basics, and you can definitely tell that she's dexterous. She's used to picking up instructions, physical instructions, quite quickly. You've gotten to know her as someone who struggles with the studies of arcane art. You've gotten to know her as someone who's having trouble picking up reading, having trouble kind of existing within this academic world. That's because you never really knew about much of her life before that, other than working in the forge. But the footwork is quite good. She's aware of some terms that you picked up along the way that you didn't think Pickle would be aware of. When it comes to footwork, when it comes to you show her how to work a dagger in particular. And you can't help but think like someone has possibly shown her that before, and Pickle is quite happy about it as well.
You know, I was excited before, but now I'm truly eager to see what you'll be capable of with a real weapon in your hand. You've done well tonight, Pickle. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I have to admit, whenever I first got to Zobek, one of my friends showed me a little bit of work on it. It was Slimy Guts. Have you met him before?
I have not. No, I have not met Mr. Guts.
You can. I mean, you
He
can call him
sounds like a
Slimy
swell
Guts. He
fellow.
likes the whole name.
Of course. Yeah, I have not met Slimy Guts. I'm sure he was a fantastic person.
Yeah. He was very nice to me. I think I might have annoyed him at first, but he kind of showed me all around the city, and I kind of needed that. He was the first rat folk I ever met, because I didn't really meet very many others.
Well, you're the first rat folk that I've ever met. Ha!
So maybe someday you can tell a story about pickled fish.
I can't wait to tell everybody about picklefish. And between me and you, I think that most good friends know each other in the beginning. So that's not anything to be concerned about.
Well, that's good.
You are working on that
You don't annoy
footwork.
me.
What was that, Pickle?
You don't annoy me, just so you know.
That's very kind of you. You don't annoy me either. I'm 100% certain, however, when I first met Bastien and Phoebe, and I was incredibly annoying.
You work on that footwork and talk a little bit about Zobek and how you got there. Talk a little bit about Bastien and Phoebe until they return to the common area. Somber, a little frown on Bastien's face. Phoebe's face is hard to read as always, because that's just Phoebe. It is late. You've had a long journey. You're possibly getting a little bit hungry, and remember that Zara, the Yeti, told you that there would be a market just around the corner, but also if you wanted for food, it could be arranged to be brought to you into this guest den, and just to talk to Agna and Estrelle next door, the explorers that found you and picked you up on your way in the frozen wastes. Essentially, you have the rest of the evening before, in the morning, as you were told, the Psyche, the religious leaders, the spiritual leaders of the Yetu people, would like to have a word with you.
Good to see you up and about.
Sorry, what?
I said it was good to see you up and about.
Yeah. It's good to see Pickle brandishing a dagger.
Get out your rapier, Bastien. I'm ready.
I'm quite
One
confident
step better.
you could beat me down without issue.
And she like hops around and assumes like 5 different stances just back to back. Just
Yeah.
That's she's already
Lorenzo
better than me.
Lorenzo starts to sniff about, and then he gets up very quickly and he goes, I need to go outside. And just kind of bolts out.
All right. Lorenzo is off without much of an explanation.
Is he okay?
Do you think it's your hand?
Oh.
Maybe.
Damn. I hadn't. That was insensitive of me. Could you, seal that up?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Do a teeny cure wounds.
Phoebe grasps Bastien's hands, speaks a very short, small prayer to Serestra that is more of a, hey, could you, cheers, which, you know, it's kind of the staple of a cleric at this point. And the wound knits up. No pain, no more blood flow. But Lorenzo, where are you going?
He is just quickly pacing. He's trying to outrun the smell. And he's just kind of he's going back in his head and just trying to grab one or two of the words that he heard Pickle say, which he spoke with the voice of the storm, and he's just kind of frustrated. And then he just, once he gets kind of far enough away, just finds the nearest tree and just plops down.
You have at first walked away rather than towards anything. You just ran off blindly. You needed to. You needed to steady yourself before... Well, you don't even want to really continue or finish that thought. So you walked past the market area, just registering the various little cavern entrances that had not just that oval door as your living den, your residential den, but had little windows full of goods. And the Yeti that at this point, you remember how tall they are, how alien they are, you just pushed through them, past them, but now you realize where you are. And oh yeah, that, right, Yeti settlement. Now you realize that they are shopping, that they are chatting with each other, and you push past that market square, upwards. It is a strange labyrinth-like maze area pattern here. It is hard to find your way, hard to find your bearings, because it's counterintuitive. There are levels, and you can see it. In that marketplace, you can see the levels above, like the shell of a snail going upwards and upwards and upwards in that cavern, in that large cave. And you follow that path upwards, you follow that spiral. And there are no signposts or anything like that. Just living areas, just dens, just people. And then a couple of floors towards the top. There is an area that could be considered a park. It's where you can sit down, lean against, a tree. A tree that is also alien, because it is growing in this cavern out of rock. Out of stone. Gnarly wood. Stretching, twisting. Leaves that seem strangely shaped. And lights. red and yellow and orange, like little flames dancing in between those leaves in the foliage. Like little glowworms, like little fireflies. You're not entirely sure what they are, but there are several trees like that, and several lights like that. And you sit down, you lean against that gnarly bark, and you look up to the roof of that cavern, to the large stalactites that from your angle seem small, but you know this is a big place. You're near the top, you're in the head of the dragon. You've left both the marketplace and the residential quarters behind, and it's peaceful and quiet.
I don't hear you any longer. I've never learned to speak your words. The hunger. It is louder than you now. Let it end. Let there be a purpose. And let me see it through. And let it end.
The storm has never spoken to you. It's never been words. It's been a drive, a purpose, a sense of this is where I need to go, and this is where I need to be. And it spoke to you, it showed you that in the void. When the portal opened and you knew this world, where you are right now, this is where you needed to be. But ever since you arrived, you'd been lost. And you reach out, almost desperately. You want the thunder, the storm, to tell you once again where you need to go in this world, where you need to be. Why did it send you here in the first place? But you feel alone. You feel lost still.
I understand. I will continue moving forward. I will be the storm. I will say the words. He gets up and he takes a step outside the cavern and just looks to the sky. If my works have bought me any grace, any consideration in your plans, I beg you, let it end. I cannot. Very well. Just trudges through the snow.
And you've never felt much in terms of cold, in terms of heat. Although this plane has certainly challenged your numbed senses in that regard. But you stand in the snow until you feel it. Until that cold is almost overpowering every other sense of your being. Listening patiently. Trying to understand the storm, trying to understand but within that numbness, strange. There is one thought. One driving force that you cannot shake. That is not overpowered by the cold, by the sense of loss. And that is the thought of Pickle, Phoebe, and Bastien.
She really is picking up the footwork rather quickly. He starts to slowly get off the ground and head back towards the inn. But he looks to the sky once more and he says, I will do all you ask. I will be the arbiter of the storm. My blade will carry your thunder. Do not let me hurt them. Please. I'm scared that I'm going to hurt them.
Roll me a wisdom save.
That's a 17.
As you look around into the sky, searching for storm clouds, listening desperately for that rolling thunder in the distance that you heard before, instead you see something else. You see the 2 moons. Dreamer's moon being bright and full and close. Dancer's moon a little bit more distanced, a little bit more dull. Barely any cloud in the sky, but you see a flicker of green and a flicker of blue. Like lightning between the 2 moons. That's your first association, but it's not over and gone. The flicker returns, moving, swaying, dancing. Lights in the sky. Curtains in the breeze, moving to a melody you cannot hear. But you are captivated by that spectacle as the light grows larger and larger, moving across the night sky. The canvas. And the light is the paint. And you are so captivated by it that for a few minutes you forget to be hungry. And you forget what it's like to feel that thorn.
Thank you. Seeing that he would summon Rumble and they would just sit and watch for a while.
Lorenzo is gone for a long while. But eventually, he does return. You see his clothes, wet, damp, shoes and the bottom of his cloak. Clearly he was outside. Clearly he was in the snow. There's a strange expression on his face. One you've never seen before. None of you. But he returns.
Hello, everyone.
Hey. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't thinking.
I can't have you apologizing every time you get a cut, Bastien. I'm fine. I'm more than fine.
You do look chipper? Is that a word I've ever used for you? I don't think so.
Chipper. Have you ever tried snow angels? It's really quite invigorating. You lay in the snow.
No. What's that?
And you move your arms up and down. Then we
Oh,
stand
like
up.
what
It's
Pickle did when he jumped on the silk sheets.
Yes, but with a little bit more grace. Would you all like to come outside and make snow angels with me?
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
go.
We should make sure that there's a nice toasty fire for us to return to.
I think some childlike fun is exactly what I need to take my mind off.
I hear there's
sounds
this drink that goes well with the fire. I don't know the name of it. We'll figure it out when we get back. Let's go make the angels.
Okay.
Lorenzo shows you the way through the market area. You can get some food. You find out that the money you have puzzles the people in the stalls, but the coins in particular are still precious metals, are still gold and silver. They still are worth something, and you figure that you probably pay more for the goods that you buy, but it doesn't matter. You head up that spiral, past the dens, and past that strange park within the cave, up that little path that Lorenzo found to the dragon's head. And as you stand on top of that cliff and the northern lights dance, and as you throw yourselves into the snow, disregarding the cold, it's a good sensation, it's a good feeling.
You know, Phoebe, I don't often say this, but I don't understand your religion, but the moons really are quite something.
There's something to them, right? Like, you don't have words for it, but it makes you feel something.
It does.
It's kind of the core of faith, you know? We're never really gonna understand all of it. But that's okay.
It's frustrating.
It can be a
It's
lot.
frustrating, not. Yes. There are no rituals for the storm. There are no words that are said. Just hear it. Sometimes. Sometimes I wish that we did have words like yours.
You can. Words and rituals and prayers, they're all made by people. Somebody made mine. I made some of mine.
Yes, but
Why don't we make some
I have
for your son?
I don't know that I have the right to speak for the storm.
But you do.
Maybe I do.
Just think about it.
When you return to your den, you find a fireplace lit, burning bright. You find a little tray with biscuits, cookies, shortbread, chocolate chip, gingerbread, all the cookies you could ever possibly want. You find mugs with tea and melted chocolate and a little note.
I love that we're getting our Christmas episode a month early.
A little note that says, tomorrow morning, I'll wake you. The Psyche want to talk to you. They're nice. Don't worry. Usually. Signed, Sarah. And you head to bed. Unless there's anything else you want to be doing that night.
Yeah, Lorenzo, before he lets them all go, would say, we don't have words, but when the storm found me, I was driven to speak, and I have never told anyone the words I said that day. I would like to tell them to you.
I would very much like to hear them.
I swear that composure will be my shield. I swear to crush the abominations of this world with my blade. I swear always to move with decisiveness in battle and put duty above all. To live my life with humility and to carry my voice like thunder. These are my words, and this is my promise. That's it.
That is your oath?
It is.
Well, then I'm very happy to say that I was not only an asshole to you, I was also wrong. Because you've never broken a word of that.
I would have you know them so that you might hold me accountable.
You don't have to worry about that.
With that,
I just have... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Noir.
No, go ahead. He was still starting to head to bed.
No, I have for when you're after this bit before we go to bed. I have just one last thing I want to add to the scene before we fall asleep. But go ahead.
Yeah, he's just gonna like slink to bed.
Bastien. So it's like a giant bed with furs for Cuddle Puddle. So Bastien just like plops down on the bed next to him, folds his arms, puts his head back, looks at the ceiling, and as he's like just drifting off to sleep, Lorenzo, he just mumbles, Katrin called.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Huh? Is she well? It's Katrin. Is she well? Katrin, is she well?
Not so good.
What? We need to go to her. Where is she?
Would that I could. She thinks, or doesn't know if we're alive. Phoebe graciously offered to send her a message.
Was the message successful? Did she ask about me?
It's not how it...
Just curious. Does she think we're all dead or just you?
All of... Would it make a huge difference to you?
No.
She wanted to make sure that I was alive and well. And Phoebe got through and told her that I'm alive and that I'm well. And now I feel much better.
That's very good.
No, she didn't ask about it.
That's fine. It's you're a brother. It makes complete sense. I'm glad that everything is well between you. And then he just like grabs his blanket and turns over.
It's, you know, after that message from her,
What did she say in the message?
I think I'm alright. Wait, what?
I mean, you never really. I mean, she thought you were dead. Did she say what did she say? Perhaps. Just what did she say in the message to you?
She said, "Let me think. I will tell you if you stop talking."
I've had a long day and I'm very cold. Yes, cold.
Right. Tuck your fangs behind your lips and I'll tell you exactly what she said. Well, not all of it. I couldn't recite it verbatim. But the gist of it is she's changed. And not the...
Oh no.
Would you let me finish?
Sorry.
It's good. It's good.
Good change.
Yes. Good change. Yes, good change. She's not the bitter, angry, cruel, vindictive ice queen that I knew her to be for, well, the last several decades. I think something about thinking that I was dead. It's softened her a bit. And she was sweet in her message. And caring. And it brought me to tears because I thought I might not ever see her again.
Oh, that's not gonna be the case. We'll get back.
So saith both you and Phoebe. I want to believe we will as well.
I think we'll get back
All
too.
this to say... Okay, that's a good... Majority vote it is then. And Pickle, I see you're still awake.
Yep.
You're all doing the thing where you're acting weird again.
I did not get a tattoo on my lower back to not have a wig back home.
It would be unfortunate if that was all for nothing, yeah. Enzo, what I'm trying to say is... I'm alright with it.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. Yes. That's wonderful news. Is she seeing anyone right now? Did she mention that?
Hell if I know. But I said before that I thought that she would eat you alive, and I don't think she's that person anymore. I think I was
You have to
judging her
understand.
based off of who I
You have
knew
to
her to
understand
be.
that in my culture, that is. Kills a thumbs up.
Ugh. Not in ours. Just it. Yeah. Okay. You know.
I understand. Yes. We will, perhaps, while we're all tired, is not the best time to have this conversation. And also not in
Honestly,
front
I
of
couldn't wait to-
everyone. He just kind of looks
I'm
at
not-
Pickle. Oh,
Come on
okay,
now,
thank
man.
you, Pickle.
Public knowledge.
I don't think anyone knew how I felt other than you, because I told you.
Wasn't
I knew.
precisely secret. Yeah,
kinda
I'm
got the
gonna say.
feeling.
I thought I was playing it.
You are
No,
Underplayed.
so
for a
many
man who tries,
things.
for a man who tries to be stoic, you're incredibly easy to read.
I don't try to be stoic. I am stoic.
Okay.
You have many qualities. Subtlety is not one of them.
Is it not? Is this like
It
when
is not.
someone told me it was go time and I left?
Well, that's a different one of your qualities. That's the one where you don't always know things. But yeah, that's a cultural thing more than a fault of personality and all, or even a characteristic of personality.
Okay.
Not to call your lack of subtlety a fault. I actually find it rather charming.
Well, is everyone okay with my pursuit of Bastian's
I mean,
sister?
I doubt she'll be okay with it if you call it that. Just in my
Yeah.
experience. But I don't care.
What does one call it? What do you call it? Is it courting? I would like
Courtship.
courtship.
I think that's better
Yes.
than pursuit, Lorenzo.
I see. Very well. Well, now you understand why I was trying to learn poetry. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
I'm
did
going
at the
to bed
time.
now.
Also.
Wait, how did you find out about that? Phoebe, did you tell him?
Big Faye
No.
is. Now go to bed.
Okay.
He's
He
gonna
just
go
pulls
to
the blanket. Pulls the blanket over him and goes to bed.
And with these small bickerings and tension devolving into whatever the fuck that was, it was adorable, that's what it was. But eventually, one after the other is falling asleep. And you hear peaceful breathing, a little bit of snoring. I'll leave it to you to decide who is the snorer in this particular group.
It is 100% Lorenzo. That is my vote. Lorenzo stars. I want that to be true.
Oh, Lorenzo.
I was gonna go for Pickle. I was gonna go for Pickle.
I can see
Pickle
Pickle
had an
doing it
adorable
too.
little. Have a little snore.
Shall we do a poll? Who's
Lorenzo
who's,
straight up
who's
talks
the
in his sleep.
loudest- Oh, nice. Who's the loudest snorer in this group? I'm gonna add a poll for chat because I am genuinely interested in this scientifically peer-reviewed study that we're doing here. And while you sleep,
Bastien, you smell
Peacefully
delicious
so.
today.
More or less peacefully so. You sleep deeply and restfully. It's genuinely one of the best nights, the most freeing, peaceful sleeps you've had in a long time. You hear the crackling of the fireplace in the living quarters. You dream about things you don't remember in the morning. Good food, comfort, a good book you read, a happy memory. Family, friends, each other. The northern lights dancing, and how it felt seeing them for the first time. The snow angels, and not actually caring about wet and cold. And you wake, rested. You wake to a plate of food, or a whole table of food. Breakfast, really. That Sora, yet again, has prepared for you, with a note to meet him at the dragon's head at the top, not outside, but near that park. When you're ready. In a good hour. Pickle, I believe you wanted to talk to Phoebe over breakfast.
So yeah, Pickle's been thinking about this, and she's doing the whole like avoiding the subject by literally doing everything else at first. So she's like being really exaggerated with like the stretch and like gets a little bit of food and sits next to Phoebe.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How did you sleep?
Fine. It was pretty warm in there, so that was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know what you were saying when you helped me look for my spell book? Um I've kind of been thinking about it, and do you think you could maybe tell me a little bit more about how your magic works?
Oh. Yeah, totally. Um, I can try. Hmm. I mean, we have, like, at our temple, we have rituals and things we do and things we say. Um, I don't know. I mean, I guess I really just think about it.
Do you think maybe if I think about Sarastra, do you think that would help? Or should I think about Voland?
It might. It's all about faith, and it's all about intention. I think about what I want to do. And I think about her. And then it happens. Do you think Boland would help you if you asked?
I'm not sure. I prayed to him a lot when I was working on things, and they didn't always turn out great. So I don't know if he was really listening or if that was just completely on me. But I do trust him. I guess I could try. Um, what's what 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 would you recommend to try for a spell? Is there an easy one?
Well, let's think of something small. What's something we could make happen right now? You knew a lot of spells. You know a lot of spells. What's a little one? Something you can do without a lot of effort.
I think I've tried light before. Is that something I could maybe try?
Yeah. Let's try that. So, think about what you want to make, what you want to create. And then think about Boland and ask him for help. Trust is a good word, I think, to think about. My mother used to always tell me that faith is hard, but faith isn't belief without proof. It is trust without reservation. So think about it and then trust that he'll put it there.
Okay. I can give this a shot, I think.
And she like puts half a biscuit on the table, and she is going to try to cast light into this biscuit by taking Phoebe's advice, and she's going to think really hard about casting light, and she's going to think about Voland as she does it.
All right. You tell me what happens.
I'll roll a chaos die for myself. Let's just find out. Oh, okay. So she kind of like tenses up, and then she focuses all of her energy that she possibly can, and the biscuit explodes. There's a little splash of light, but crumbs fly everywhere.
Pickle focuses on that biscuit. It's nice. Actually, no, it's not. It has raisins instead of chocolate chip. It's an expendable biscuit. Focuses on that biscuit and invokes Voland. Thinks about her past. Thinks about the forge. Thinks about Ruby. Thinks about all the teachings, all the stories of the dwarves she'd heard about Voland, about the great inventions, and she gets sidetracked a little bit. Because as she's desperately trying to invoke Voland, as she's desperately trying to be faithful, to be devoted, all she can think about are those inventions. The first time she just put a couple of things together and made something new. When she was still trying to learn the language of dwarves, when they were using items to teach her words, and putting these items together to create something new, created new words in her mind. And Like a dog running after a stick, Pickle chases that thought as she's concentrating and channeling that magic, and she is surprised by that explosion because she'd already forgotten about it. As the biscuit, half of it lands in Phoebe's face. Half of it lands in the fireplace, a couple of crumbs on the floor. Yeah. Maybe not a cleric either.
Is that how it's supposed to work?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, it did make some light, so.
Thank you so much for LFM Network for that raid. I hope you had a wonderful stream. We are just trying to teach our lost little wizard a new kind of magic because she lost her spell book and hasn't been able to get it back. So far, all attempts unsuccessful, which of course means just more fun for us. But I'm very happy that you're here, and I hope you had a wonderful evening as well. Breakfast
I guess
is... Yeah, go for it.
At least it was an oatmeal biscuit, or with the raisins. That's expendable. That was okay.
Yeah. I really hate how much raisins look like chocolate chips.
Yeah, that's not fair. You bite into it. So excited.
And a talk about religious devotion and source of magic quickly turns into talk about food and breakfast and what everyone is having. The relaxation and the
chocolate chips.
What did you say there? You were cutting out.
Maybe we can create a spell to turn raisins into chocolate chips.
It's an important conversation to be had. Lorenzo and Bastien, you're all sitting on that table, you're all eating, you're all having food, and the time is coming closer to when you have to meet Sora, to meet the Yeti Council, the Psyche.
I'd like to think that Bastien got hit in the face with just like the shower of crumbs while he was sleeping. It's just like, and like sits up, sees Pickle, just blew up a cookie, and is like, too early, and then just lays back down.
Lorenzo's got a plate full of everything, and like most of it's half bitten, and yeah, just.
He's trying. He's really trying. Alright. Eventually you head up to the dragon's head, where Sora is waiting for you. Just underneath that tree that Lorenzo rested under the night before. He is quickly coming towards you as he sees you. After all, even though you are tiny, in contrast to Yeti, you do stand out. And he comes up to you. Did you enjoy that? Is that... I tried to get you a little bit of everything. I know it looks like just nothing, like a cave, but we have decent food here. I hope that was alright for you guys. Yeah.
I thought it was very good.
The hospitality of your cave is superior to several manor homes I've stayed in the Shadow Realm, so don't be ashamed at all. It's beautiful.
Thanks. It's good to be home. Haven't been here in a while. Ice Runner just runs around the ice. That's what I do. I'm a bit nervous, guys.
What's, because of who it is?
Like, the Psyche are... Like, they're the big guys. You don't see them often. Sometimes in festivities, celebrations, but usually they stay in their own area, listening to the voices, interpreting what they say.
When you say big, You mean as in important or...
Oh, important. They're not much.
Uh,
They're a little bit taller than me, but they're Yeti,
I see.
like myself. Just, when we go in, just be polite. They understand that you're coming from a different world, but just only really ask when you're spoken to and when they offer questions. Try not to insult, like, our gods. That would be bad. There's Ashir. She's pretty cool, to be fair. I think she'll like you. She used to travel a lot. She's the psyche of Nangla. Nangla is our god of settlement and home and all that. She's responsible for all this, for creating new settlements all over. There's Pakrai. He is the psyche of Gopa. He's responsible for me, actually. I technically report to him, with a couple of steps in between. But hunting, honor, being out there in the world, that's what he does. He is doing the important conversations and paperwork with Snowhaven. And Alai is the psyche of Rilang. She is intense. You see, Rilang is responsible for all our inventions, for this, and he pats the boomstick, the gun that he so graciously shared with you just yesterday. Erlang taught us how to do all of that, how to rise as a civilization. That's kind of the gist of it. Just, don't try to convert us and you'll be fine.
It won't be a problem. And any taboos we should be aware of? Little things we shouldn't...
Don't take your shoes off. That was weird.
You think it's weird that we took our shoes off?
Oh, no, you guys. We had visitors a while ago, a couple of months back, and apparently they took their shoes off on the way in. And
oh.
That's it.
So don't do that. Again, won't be a problem. They're very cold. Shoes are definitely staying on.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Alright, well, if that's all.
Here goes. And he sort of tries and fixes posture and takes a deep breath, and you can see him brimming with a little bit of excitement and a little bit of fear, and he heads on, and that little path that took you outside, you didn't notice that there was another door just beyond one of those moss curtains. It's not a huge entrance. It's not glittery and glistening with gold. It's not like a throne room that you would know from your own homes. The rulers of this place don't seem to be announcing their majesty much. But when you enter the room, you follow that narrow corridor, which, for those of you who kind of try to keep an eye on the whole layout of this place, it's leading towards that dragon's snout, that nose. And there is an opening. The corridor widens. And for the first time in the settlement, you see windows. You see light, natural light coming in as it's bright day. There are 3 chairs. On each chair sits a Yeti, dressed in different clothes, robes, colourful fabrics though. Older than Sarah. And behind them, windows, openings, like the gap between teeth. Dragon's mouth, after all. They offer you to take place on a large sitting pillow that you're supposed to kneel in. Sarah is the first one to show you to do it and beckons for you to do the same thing. And Ashir stands up from her throne, takes a pot of tea that was before her on a little table, and starts pouring each of you a cup of tea. Hands you the cup and starts chatting. Oh well. Happy to have you here. Visitors are rare, but we welcome them. I hear you had quite the journey. It's a chatty tone, conversational tone, as she hands you those mugs and then returns to her seat. Please, tell us who you are. Tell us why you're here.
I think we can answer the first question, not so much the second.
Rizzo's actually gonna stand up straight, present himself.
Okay.
I am Lorenzo, Arbiter of the Storm. And I am here because that is where the storm has sent me. Because this is where I am needed.
You're welcome to Dragon's Mouth, Lorenzo, Arbiter of the Storm. And I look towards Pickle next.
And she stands up from kneeling.
I am Pickled Fish, and I'm a wizard, and we're here.
She kneels back down.
You two are welcome, Pickled Fish, wizard. Looking on to Bastien.
As I was about to say, I'm Bastien, not of this plane, of the Shadow Realm. And, with respect, I don't know why I'm here.
Welcome, Bastien of the Shadow Realm. That is interesting. Do you know why you're here? Looking to Phoebe.
Phoebe looks up and, like, oddly formally, kind of looks up and bows her head and says, "Yes. I'm Phoebe. Phoebe Cianadel. And I am here because I have questions."
What are these questions, Phoebe Cianadel?
What is a shard?
Ashir leans back in her seat. It is not It is not a word we use, a concept we use. But I have heard it spoken before. Where did you hear of this? Shard.
Something called me that. Yesterday. More than once. I don't know what it means. But I keep hearing things here. Words. Songs.
As you're telling them that, you notice the Yeti shift a little bit. The Sheer has leaned back in her seat. The male Yeti next to her, Pakrai, is glancing between his two female companions and then back to you, fidgeting a little bit uneasy. And Alai smiles. Tell us how you were brought into this, our world.
A friend brought us here. We were kind of lost. Between planes, between places. And Lorenzo heard the storm. So we came here. To the snow. And then I heard the song.
You should not stay here. For your own sake.
What does that mean?
Pakrai leans forward, the one that was a little bit restless. It means that you might be in danger. It means that you might bring danger to us. Who called you by that title?
I don't know. I thought it was a creature. We saw a creature, fought a creature. I don't know how to describe it. From under the water. A shark, but not a shark. And then I heard it again. Out of nowhere.
Sarah next to you pipes up. I believe that was one of the Gruul I touched. And it doesn't seem to surprise the three of them at all. They nod. The less you know, the better. For your own sake. But you should make haste. The longer you linger, the more of these creatures will find you. How do you plan on leaving this world?
Phoebe stands up. With respect to your temple and your seat and your people, I don't accept that. Something is coming for me, which means it's coming for us. And I want to know what. And I won't leave until you tell me.
Lorenzo?
I'd like to have Lorenzo stand up and kind of join Phoebe. We're not leaving until the work is done.
Yeah, I'll
It's
get on
not
that
the
action
creature.
too.
It's not the creatures that we fear. I heard the voice as well. It's the being controlling the creatures. They were able to fend off my abilities, something not easily done. And never has it been true that the less you know, the better. Help us, or we will help ourselves.
Bastien stands beside Phoebe as well. She reached out. Phoebe reached out across the plains to send a message for me. When she did that, it spoke to her. It recognized her power. It told her as such. Phoebe is strong, and her magic is great. And this, whatever it is that you won't tell us, it perhaps wishes to use her the same way it used that shark creature. That's dangerous. That's dangerous not just for Phoebe, but for all of us.
You see an exchange happening of glances. You see communication unspoken. And eventually, Ashir speaks again. Sora, please leave us. He is shocked by that. But, I can tell you, but you have. And we thank you for it. Please leave. And he does. Looks back to you a few times. And when his footsteps are gone, Ashir sighs. The truth is, we do not know what a shard truly is. But he has been looking for them. What do you know of Grula?
So I think, having said his piece, Bastian's going to sit back down, because I think this is Phoebe's conversation. So I think he wants to give her his space to talk to them. So he takes his seat again.
Almost nothing. We've only been here for a couple of days. But a lot has happened, and a lot has made me believe that we are supposed to be here. I was told by someone that I am following the Dreamer's Moon. Or that I will. Soon. I want to know the rest.
Then you would do well to look within. We cannot answer who you are, what you are. But we can tell you that Grula will not rest until he has you in his grasp. To what purpose, I could not tell you. But rest assured, it is not pleasant. He is an entity that we do not wish to see freed or more powerful. The creature that attacked you is one of his. We have been fighting them for centuries.
That creature was not his of his own will.
That creature had no will. No will can stand against Grula's will.
I can. I think we proved that yesterday.
Your confidence honors you. Yet we have to think of our people. You may rest here one more night. Tomorrow, you will leave Dragon's Mouth. And they stand up, bow, and leave the room.
Seems I complimented Yeti hospitality a bit too soon.
They are afraid.
They worry for their people. Don't fault them for that.
I don't.
Bastien, I need your help.
What is it?
I'm missing a memory and I want to find it.
Okay. What? How can I help?
I don't know. Can you make me remember? You've made people see a lot of things. Can we find it?
Well, do you recall that spell we did back in Coramel together? The ritual?
Yes.
It didn't work, unfortunately. But had it worked, well, Calvin would have had one hell of a show. It's meant to draw out. It's a ritual that draws out secrets. It brings one's deepest secrets to the fore and puts them on display for all to see. At least that's the way I've traditionally used it. It's a nasty little piece of business. But perhaps a modified version of that could summon your secret. The secret you, well, is kept even from yourself because it's the memory you don't have. Even if we can't get it, the memory itself that's gone, perhaps the circumstances around it, the moment it exited your mind, that may be possible.
Let's do it. I'm tired.
I'll need some help. If you're the subject of the spell, I can't have you help me like you did last time. I'll need another mage.
I could try. But I don't know if you really want me to help with this one.
On the contrary, Pickle, there's no one else I'd rather have helping with this one.
Okay.
Who better than a friend?
I can give it a shot.
This is... I'm warning you, Pickle. You didn't... Back at the college, when Phoebe and I would do our rituals to Sarastra, you didn't join. This is a type of magic you've not encountered before, and it's a bit intense. Sarastra's rituals, yeah. They're a bit, well, you'll see. Just follow my lead, and don't be afraid. And you'll be fine.
You spend the day gathering components that you need for a ritual that you've cast before, but not like this. And it's not just having to rethink the magical aspect of repurposing this ritual, it's what's at stake. You spent the day teaching Pickle how this will work, what she has to say when she has to say it. And when the night falls, the four of you head to the top to see the moons.
Lorenzo's actually not going to join them for this ritual because he knows what most of their rituals involve.
But pickle blood, it should balance out, right?
Yeah,
We
he's
can't use
really
him
not
after we
going.
have blood.
He's really not going to be there.
If you'll allow it, I'll say Lorenzo heads up with them for moral support. Nods.
Okay.
And then heads back down when the ritual begins. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
When we get to the cutty bits, you might want to get out of here. But
Yeah.
and Bastien is very grateful that you're here, because he needs the moral support pretty bad for this. Right. Enzo, we're going to get started in just a few minutes. I'll let you know when it's probably best for you to steer clear, but just setting things up now, so... Okay. Pickle, just, could you light the incense, and I'll lay out the candles? Right,
Yeah, I can
Phoebe,
do that.
Great. Phoebe, you stand over there, in the center of the circle of candles, and, we'll start the incense burning, and, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Salt! Oh! Zerastro, where's the salt? Pickle, could you make the salt circle there? And I'm just going to just make sure I have this right, okay. And, sets up a circle of candles and places Phoebe at their center. And then puts a circle of salt around the outside of the ring of candles with sort of 5 points of a star around it. These little metal burners of incense that are giving off this really intense fragrance, even in the high wind atop the dragon's mouth. It's still giving this very intense, pungent odor. And Bastien walks over to Phoebe. Sorry about the smell. For a memory buried this deep, I had to go a little heavy on the components. Are you okay?
Thank you.
Of course. This will require a bit of your blood, nothing you're not used to. But it's going to be part of the focus of the spell rather than a component this time, so it will be used a bit differently. I'm going to need a bit from all of us. Yeah, and this would be the part where he would look to Enzo like, now is the time you're going to want to... It's about to get... Okay. Right. And he takes Phoebe's hand. Usual spot on the arm, or somewhere else?
Do my palm like yours.
Left hand, then. Sure. He takes Phoebe's hand. And he's never done this for her before. When they do their rituals, they, draw the blood from themselves, so he's never done it to her before. So he's, like, really ginger with the knife. And at first doesn't even break skin. Sorry, little... and then just drags it across her palm. Right, drop that in the burner there, right next to the large candle. Pickle? And he wipes off the knife. Need you next. Got a preference where you want that to come from?
I can't really feel my leg. Is that okay to use my leg?
As long as it bleeds.
I think it does. We'll find out.
And she just sticks her leg up.
And he just, as she's been saying that, he already cut it. Yeah, it does. And he takes his glove off. All right. Pickle, this as well. I need you to just start humming while I recite the prayer. Just keep it low. Remember, like we practiced. Back of the throat. Very... Phoebe? You don't have to do anything. I'll take it from here. And he drags the knife across his palm and drops his blood into the burner with Phoebe's and Pickle's and bows his head. And his voice deepens, almost like throat singing sort of in a way that Phoebe you've never heard before. And he recites his prayer. A time forgotten, a moment lost, a smothered flame, a melted frost. Bring us now, the instant when memories scattered, what could have been. To the Lady of the Moon we pray, to draw her secrets into day. Goddess, upon this frigid night, bring her shadows into light. And he blows out onto the burner that contains all of their blood.
And from Bastien's mouth, shadow drips like smoke, pitch black, onto the burner that contains the blood, and then outwards to the tips of the star, all 5 of them, extinguishing the flame, and then wafting upwards, taking the shape of a woman. Bastien, you look around to see if the rituals worked, if anything is working, and you see Phoebe and Pickle sitting there. For a moment, they're just waiting. But then you realize, no. It is absolutely silent. Pickle, her eyes closed, is not humming, is not moving, is not even breathing. And Phoebe, her eyes closed as well, after she had spent all that preparation looking up to the moons. You see her white knuckles clasping her own hands, not moving, not breathing either, frozen in time. And the smoke caresses your cheek. And you look to the side to see Zarastra. Exactly how you always imagined her. Ever since that one time, probably the first time you can recall, that you saw a painting of her in a book. She looks exactly like that. And she smiles.
Bastien immediately drops to a knee. Genuflex.
You are giving a lot for this one, my disciple, my prophet.
She's worth it.
Just how much is she worth to you? I wonder.
Do you... Do you require more of me, goddess?
I could take a hand. Or both.
If that is your will.
I could take a song. Or all of them.
If that is your will.
Really? You would give that? Everything you
Give
are?
anything for her.
Anything. My. All you are. All you ever aspire to be. Your music. Your songs. Your charm. For her. Done.
What?
Phoebe. Nothing's happened. For a while, nothing is happening. You've kept your eyes closed for so long. And you open them. You see Pickle. Silent. Frozen in time. And you see Bastien. A strange expression on his face. Pained. Intense. His mouth slightly gasping. For what? You can't tell, because you don't see him breathe, you don't see him move. And then you feel that hand on your shoulder again, that you felt before. And you turn around to see a face you've seen before. Smart. Kind. To those who deserve it. Your goddess is with you. Phoebe.
You can see me.
I've always seen you. Watched you, even.
I want to remember. Please.
I know. And she looks up towards Bastien. He is a devoted one. They always are, sister. And you lose everything. Your sense of time, your sense of self. You fall deeper and deeper and deeper. You don't know for how long, and you don't know how far. And just when you're about to lose yourself completely, you find the missing piece. Bright light erupts around you, but you're not blinded. You see clearer than you ever have before. You see yourself at 4 years old, standing in a courtyard under a full moon, barefoot in the snow. Amara runs up to you, places a blanket around your shoulder, and she's clearly worried. What on earth are you doing, child? Come back inside. And you respond, I'm talking to Mother. You are 6 years old, and all the other children in the temple avoid you. They call you weird. They call you conceited and arrogant, because you claim to hear the wind, and you claim to command the snow, and you correct priests and priestesses on Zoroastra's teachings. You're alone. No matter how often Amara tries to help you make friends, you're always alone. But not 1 year later. At 7, you're no longer alone. But you still don't have friends. Instead, you have followers. Some fellow children, even some of the priests, have taken a strange shine to you. Random people in Zobek, they just seek you out. They seek your advice. The advice of a 7-year-old. The blessing of a 7-year-old. And when they look at you, there is this strange devotion. A loyalty that borders on fanaticism. They believe. When you're 8 years old, you look upon a body of a human acolyte with curious, unfazed eyes. His name was Galen Petra, and his blood is still pooling around his head, split open by the hammer blow of a blacksmith. A blacksmith who believed. This is where we're ending tonight. After a fairly heavy episode, So instead of typing "oh question mark" in chat, can I ask you real quick, because I'm getting worried, is everyone okay?
Super duper, I have no idea what's going on.
Whew. So, we've had an interesting session tonight. Some things came to light, some shadows came to light. And thank you very much for reaching that retweet goal, chat. I did not forget about it. I didn't make Pickle roll for a Chaos Surge in that ritual. That was the boon. Because there were some options to make this going a little wronger.
More haywire?
Yeah. Than originally thought. We are going to take a breather. We're going to be right back to say our little outros and then afterwards head over to Critical Misses for a little bit of an in-depth debrief. See you in a minute. Okay, we are back. A little bit of a breather, a little bit of shaking out emotions, and thank you very much everyone for following us into this level of self-searching adventure, I guess. We've been partly talking about that behind the scenes. We of course have been communicating in chat, and we will communicate a little bit more, like I said, at the end afterwards when we head over to Anita's channel, Critical Misses. The link is in chat just now. I recommend giving that a follow right now. We'll probably take 5 or 10 minutes real quick in between, just so everyone can stretch their legs and get a drink. But we'll have definitely Phoebe, Bastien, possibly Lorenzo as well, chat with Anita, see what she thinks, and then we'll head over to their channel. But we'll also be back next week, of course, to find out what Phoebe really thinks of all of this that just unfolded, if she can make sense of it, what kind of sense she makes of it, what happens with Lorenzo and the storm, if Pickle finds finally her niche, her magic that is just right for little Goldilocks. And of course, we'll find out if Bastien has truly lost everything, if he has any regrets or not. I'm Lydia, I'm Half-Housed Hermit, and you can find me here on Encounter Roleplay on a regular basis, as is the case for many of the other lovely players. So we'll start with Phoebe this time, go clockwise, And if you want to let us know, A, how are you doing, and B, where else we can find you throughout the week.
All right. I am Phoebe and sometimes Savvy. And I love going first because then I don't have to remember which way a clock goes. I am Savvy at Savvy Seaworth on the internets, and I'm doing great. This has been a journey so far, and a journey that I am so thrilled and emotionally compromised to be on. You can find me when I am not here. Well, I'm here a couple of days a week. I'm here on Mondays. I'm also here on Encounter Roleplay for the next few weeks on Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. running a game of I Hunt, which is it's millennial monster hunters just doing their best. But when I am not here, because I stream at this point 7 days a week, you can find me on twitch.tv/game nights. It's game with 2 G's for good game and nights with a K. We do a lot of stuff over there. We play Dungeons and Dragons, we play Good Society, we play what else am I thinking of? Overarms, this TTRPG that I've been standing for a while that's based on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We also have a special one-shot coming up this week. It's tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We are playing Spell, the RPG, which is a fantasy tabletop game, and it's also a word game in which you have a pool of letter tiles, and whatever you can spell, you can cast as a spell. So that's going to be really fun and exciting. But yeah, come hang out with me pretty much every day, especially Mondays though. So I'm always super pleased to be here in these feelings.
And what about Draku, our pickled fish?
Yeah. Hey everyone, I'm Draku. You can find me at Draku on pretty much every platform except for Twitch, where I am Draku3690. I'm a variety streamer. I do a lot of different things. Tomorrow, if you want to tune in, I've started playing Destiny 2 again, because they just dropped that update a couple weeks back. So there's that. I also do a randomized play of Baldur's Gate 3, where I roll dice to make every single decision, and that spellcaster is a hot mess. But yeah, definitely can catch me here on Mondays. I'm in the exact same boat as Savvy, as this is like my favorite thing that I do each week. So we got hit in the feels today. A lot of, like, the hits just kept on coming. I'm just gonna pull my ears out. That's what I'm doing. So there we go.
Hello, everybody. I'm Noir. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch as the Noir Enigma. I tried to combat the feels with hot cocoa and snow angels, so you can't put this on me at all. You can find me on Mondays right here on Encounter with Song of the Deep. On Tuesdays, you can find me over on the LFM network for Degrees of Madness, me and the team from Perception Studios, and Love Laugh Lindy doing Call of Cthulhu with puppets. So that's fun. Tuesday evenings, you can find me over on Madame Gandalf's channel, where we have our cult game ongoing. Every other Wednesday, you can find me on TPK Roleplay for our Curse of Strahd game. I'm excited to announce this. Next Thursday, in fact, the very first TTRPG stream on my channel, The Lonely Throne, is coming out. This is a game that's set in the world of Gloria, a campaign setting that I've been running for the past 20 years. So please check it out. It's very exciting. On Friday, you can catch me over on Chromatic Chimera for Bloody Portrait, our Zyhander game. And on Saturday, you can find me Saturday mornings, you can find me over on Critical Misses with Morning Ritual. Our guest this week is going to be the one, the only, it's the Riddler. I cannot wait to have her on the show. It's going to be a blast. And then finally, on Sunday, you can catch me on my own channel again with Dungeons and Deep Dish. And then later in the evening, over on Critical Misses again with the game, mass game that I run, Second City Saviors. be very excited to see you there. And that's me.
And Colin.
Hey. Tomorrow, 2 to 5 is Octon Cthulhu. I made a pledge that I'm not going to list cast on all my shows anymore, because every time I do, I forget someone, and then I feel bad about it later on. So there's a lot of really great people on that show, and you should watch it. And then Friday, me and Lydia are doing Postmortem on my channel. And hey, can I announce the guest now? Yeah, cool. Our guest is going to be Charlie. Charlie of Encounter Roleplay fame. So come see us there on my channel Friday at 8 o'clock, where we will talk with Charlie for a few hours. And then this Sunday on my channel, which is twitch.tv/Colonomicon, this Sunday we're doing a one-shot of Black Void, running Flight from Salvation Square, which is like the Black Void starter module. So we got a bunch of really great people in that, including Lydia, so I can include that one. And other great people, too, using... Well, I'm not going to list all of them, pursuant to my promise. I won't say everybody else in it.
Say a word. Did not say a word.
But, you know, we're using pre-gen characters, and probably still will get super invested in them and cry and stuff. So come watch that, and then come see me again on Monday next week, along with all these other cool people. Okay, that's it.
And I'll be back here tomorrow on Spyhander Flames of Freedom, which is happening at 5 p.m. EST. Yes, 5 p.m. EST. And you can also, of course, catch all of us in the Encounter Roleplay Discord, which, if you haven't joined already, I would heavily suggest you stop by. It's where all the fun stuff happens. This is also where we have clips, where we have GIFs, where we have, I think at the moment, people are playing Overwatch, so a couple of group video games, casting calls are posted there, so please do stop by. If you are watching on YouTube, you can also find those links underneath in the description. Thank you very much for sticking with us till the end, and please let us know what you thought of this ritual at the end and all of its outcome and what it could mean for next week. Thank you very much for all of our sponsors as well. The link is in chat just now. Do check them out and check all of the games out that we have on during the week. We will be back here next week with some more Feels Daggers, and until then, thank you very much for watching and for going with us on this journey through the frozen wastes and through some deep shit. Bye everyone.